Hello there, today we're going to give you an honest review of Orebound. This is a new factory building game. It is still early access, and it kind of shows that it's early access. There's not much else going on in this game besides building your factory. It's really big factories, you're a dwarf, and then you end up digging down deeper and getting other big resources. The resource nodes are pretty big. They hold like 50k resources, and then you eventually drain them off there and find some more and things like that. It's not too much of a problem of constantly getting resources all the time because there's not much, it's not very fast on draining them, so that one resource node will go a long way, so you don't have to worry about that too much. But as you can see, there's a whole bunch of trenches everywhere you can fall in there, a pitfall your way down, and you go deeper in this game. You don't really go out and explore a lot in the overworld and things like that. On the overworld, there's just basically there's trees and some plants and some pigs, and that's it for that on that department right there. And as for the borders, and there's here a big tree right here. I went up to there and there's like nothing there. There's like the whole tree like disappears when you're walking inside of it. That type of thing going on there for the graphics department. And you know, the invisible walls. You know, in that snow area up there is like there's an invisible wall right there. So that invisible wall will be a nice big circle around your map, and it's a seed map, so your map will look different each time. But it's more about going down deeper and getting your resources and making your factories on there, which are powered by steam in this game. And the water, you just pump it out of nothing. So you can build your foundations in the middle of the air, and then put a water pump on there, and it'll just start pumping water. Since there's no water in this game, right? So there's no rivers and lakes and stuff like that. So it's kind of a little bit weird on that, but they needed to power your system with something, so it's steam powered, and you got to feed coal into it, and a little bit of coal goes a long way. As you can see here, I got the one coal line going up in there and splitting into my pump and splitting into the steam powered things, and going over to here to do another one over there. So yeah, it will go a long way, and there's another one down there being used for the that same node right there, and nothing's going on, right? It's not even moving. So it is very efficient for the coal, at least on that department. But and it's still, everything is big, and it takes a lot of work on placing all this stuff around. And you don't have any zoom out function, right? So you can get a run around, and you got a very limited jump on there to actually run around your factory and all these belts, and you can't really place them to where you want them to be placed. Like if they're going to go really big like this, they could have done the belt placement up higher, and so you can run around underneath the belts, right? So that would have been a good thing to do. That's what I would have done. If I was going to go big and make really big factories like this, I would just make them taller, since you're a dwarf, so you can run underneath them. So all the stuff right here wouldn't be in the way. So all the stuff would be up higher, high enough that you can run underneath them and see everything and get around your base easily. That would have made more sense to me if they did that, right? For yourself. But yeah, everything is big. All the storages and everything that is big. But how much you can store isn't big. You can only hold 100 at a time. Your inventory is pretty small. You don't have much going on for inventory. You get a mining helmet for a light and a backpack. And the medium backpack doesn't even work in this game yet. I'm sure they're going to fix that right away. There's a medium backpack you can build, but it comes out as a backpack S, and that's only 5 more inventory slots, which isn't enough. This game has runic power on there, so you can get some runes and find them and do that stuff. The autosave is going to come on there, and that's going to take a while. The loading screen time in this game is pretty high. As for depth on this game, besides just digging down deep, all you do is build stuff and create products to sell, and you can automatically sell them to get gold, and then use that gold to buy stuff. Like I bought this rune right here off the market, but there's not much out there. I could buy this fortress key. I haven't run into a fortress yet. I don't know what's the point of going into those fortresses besides some extra combat, I guess. Maybe they have some loot in there, but if you don't have anything on your equipment, what's the point? You go down there, and what are you going to loot? You're going to loot some resources that you can mine anyways. So I don't see the value in going into a fortress and getting stuff, besides maybe some other runes that might help you out with combat, which you don't need to do if you're just going to mine stuff and get gold to actually unlock everything. So, and it's kind of one of those catch-22s. They add all the stuff in there, but they don't have any real reason to actually do it. So it's kind of a waste of the time. The only thing that has actual a whole bunch of levels on there is going to be your automation for your research department on there, and that's just I can turn the rubies and the sapphires and stuff like that into ingots, and I can use that to make some keys for myself. For whatever reason, but everything else is like 3 levels or 4 levels of building for upgrades and unlocks. I unlocked this and got what, like the battle axe, which was like 25 more damage, so it wasn't very much. And this other thing right here doesn't tell you what it does, but you don't really need them. I don't know why you don't have a better pick like that. But there's already an upgrade for a better pick. It just doesn't do anything really, right? So it's not really much going on in that department. You can detect the ores and stuff like that. You got some farming on there. Got to make these barrels. So you can have some explosive barrels for yourself and explosives. The transportation is kind of lacking. There's no real decent way to actually move your ores around. You can put them on a rail network, but that seems like extra work to build versus a conveyor belt. So I don't get it. I don't get that part right there. And the elevators don't work for resources, which would be nice. They need to add that in there. They don't have that zoom out function in this game. They really need to have that. They should probably add some, if they're going to stick with the dwarf theme, they should add a clockwork owl type thing and have him fly up there, because most games will allow you to have a little hovercraft or whatever, a little drone that you can pop up in the air and they can see their face, especially when you have big huge buildings like this. It will make it a lot easier to actually navigate and build your stuff and things like that. And I wish they could actually change the outputs on your machines of different size, because this is all sloppy, right? It clips through stuff, and you try to make it a little bit better, maybe some more outputs on the steam thing, on an extra layer up top, so you don't have to make so many of these splitters all the time. Maybe some upgrades on your steam would be nice, because right now it doesn't produce a lot. It produces 100 steam, and some of those things say 20. So you don't really have to make a lot. Just add some more steam things in there and more pipes, which makes it more ugly. Easier layer system would be nice, and a way to navigate different levels would be nice to do that. So, make a different layer for steam, like above everything, and then have the steam go down into it. That would be a nice way to maybe navigate that department for layers and stuff like that. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem very user-friendly. Like, building one block at a time isn't really that user-friendly on a game where you need to build a whole bunch of blocks. But yeah, that's something that they can adjust themselves later on. But as for now, as for early access, there is not much going on or reason to play this besides just another factory game to try out there, right? So my opinion on this is it's playable, it works, but it's not really in depth. You can't upgrade your machines and make them faster yet. There's not much point in actually going down there and doing the combat. The having goblins and stuff like that spawn on the bottom of your foundations attacking from below is kind of a bug that's just annoying. It's got some nice things for digging. You see the tether down there. You can see to help yourself not get lost in all the depths and the holes you can fall through. Look at all these holes all over the place in this as you travel down there. It's going a bit faster. I've got the room, might as well use it. But yeah, there's lots of little holes everywhere. This place is pretty good for not having holes. That's what this is. This is like, and you get to change the color and the scenery. So that is a nice thing. But playability, it's playable. The combat is, basic and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of, they kind of force you to go there and get those explosive barrels, because you can't really take on those big goblin bosses with a melee weapon. It doesn't work, right? So I'll show you that and die, because it's, there's no reason why not to, right? As the guy respawns in here, no, they don't respawn very fast for that. They just have some guys spawning in random locations. But this big guy over here is a different story. So, right, this guy's pretty big. His range is a lot bigger than it shows on there, right? So, let's try and run backwards. Yeah, it's got big range. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, big huge range on there, one shot, blocking wouldn't even help, doesn't help on those guys. So you really need barrels to, exploding barrels for your ranged weapon, I guess, to take those guys out there and get access to those other resources that they're blocking. Or just build a whole bunch of turrets. That's how I killed the other guys. Yeah, just build some turrets all over the place at the bottom there. But that takes quite a bit of resources, and you might want to automate the production of that kind of stuff. But anyways, at the end of the day, this game is basically an average game, 5 out of 10 for this early access. It's got room to improve and maybe add some more depth to it and fix some of these building mechanics and things like that. But they could have done a lot better out of the gate on some of the mechanics on it. So that would have been nice to actually have that right off the start. But picky as I am for this kind of stuff. Yeah, you're going to play this game, and you have different scenes, but I don't see much of a reason for me to continue playing it, because I'm just going to be mining resources to collect gold to unlock more things, to unlock more automation. And that's not much of a goal. Unlocking more automation is not much of a goal, in my opinion. So it's lacking in that goal department right now. Of course, it's early access. They'll have, hopefully they'll have quests or missions or something like that, or like a reason to go down there. Besides maybe getting some runes that might help out for something, but they need to add more to make this more interesting. So for right now, it's a 5 out of 10. and it's probably pretty generous, but it is playable and it works. So yeah, it gets that 5 out of 10. It's saying, hey, go ahead and try it. It's something to do, but it's nothing to write home about yet. It's just, you know, bigger factories and you get some gold for yourself. That's about it. So yeah, just sloppy factories that you're building. They're big. There you have it. That's just the game basically in a nutshell right now. You know, that's what you judge for yourself and see if this is more interesting for you. You know, 5 out of 10 for me is playable. If I got nothing better to do, I'll play this. But I think I got something better to do at the moment and play this game some more. Maybe try out some other games and hopefully find something that's a little bit better and more interesting at the end of the day that has more replay value for me. So, but that is just that's it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.